Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off the Belmont Saturday card with graded stakes action. It's the Vagrancy Handicap. Fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. We're also kicking off the 50-cent early pick 5. You can get down on that wager with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $100 into your DRF Bets account. Bet with $250. Bets.drf.com is where you go for all the details. Let's meet the field of filly and mare sprinters. There's a pretty big name in this race, Mike. It's the return of the number 4 Separation of Powers. Multiple graded stakes winner for Chad Brown. Last seen in the cotillion. Chad tried to stretch her out again around 2 turns.
Yeah.
A, that's probably not what she wants to do. B, against Monomoy Girl, that's definitely not what she wants to do. And C, she came in that race with ankle chip that required surgery. So we can give her a mulligan for the cotillion.
Right.
She is a very good filly.
Yes.
You usually don't worry about Chad off of layoffs, but I don't know what we're going to get from Separation of Powers. I mean, this is only her 8th lifetime start. She's had her share of issues, and she's facing some sharp horses.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does, because I think just on the face of it, and you're right that there are some nice horses in here.
It's the right
This is
spot.
a pretty good spot for her to come back in. A grade 3, a short field. There's not that much speed in here. And, you know, she's got races that just make her really tough if she can run it off the layoff. As you already mentioned, she's a grade 1 winner as a 2-year-old. She's a grade 1 winner as a 3-year-old. You know, the layoff here is a little bit of a concern, but I mean, I don't see how you argue with this spot, Dan. I'm going to try and beat her in this race, but I'm using this.
You have to use this horse in the early pick 5. She is way the horse to beat if she comes back with her usual excellent performance. Pacific Gale's a really underrated, nice little filly. She's shown up in 2 out of her last 3 races. 3 back in the Hurricane Birdie. She tried to come from off the pace over a track that I thought was inside speed friendly. Dream Pauline shot up the rail to win that race. Pacific Gale was 4 wide in the upper stretch, and she ran a good second. Last time out in the distaff, not a lot of pace going on early, and when you let a horse like Come Dancing get away to an easy early lead, you're not catching. But she was easily second best. Come Dancing came back to win the Ruffian on Sunday with a 103 buyer.
Yeah, well, listen, Come Dancing's, you know, just gotten really good lately. She had all the best of it in that day, but I mean, she ran a 114 buyer in there. I mean, she absolutely dusted that field with a really big performance. Outside of her in that race, I think that race is pretty tough to evaluate because nobody really had a chance to beat her anyway. And nobody really did that much running. I'll give Pacific Gale, you know, all the credit in the world for getting graded stakes placed again and running a 98 buyer, but I don't want her in this race.
Perhaps one of the advantages she has is she can be close to the pace.
That's true.
Timeform US doesn't believe this pace will be fast. It is a short field, and they've got the 2. Heaven Has My Nikki, an Ohio bred, expected to make the lead. Heaven Has My Nikki's won 6 of 13 starts, and last time out at Mahoning Valley, she was just destroyed that field of non-winners of 2 others. But don't just look at her as a horse that can't contend against graded stakes competition.
Yeah.
She gave Midnight Bijou all she could handle 2 starts back in Sam Houston.
She ran a great race
Didn't
in
she?
the Houston Ladies Classic. She ran really well in that race. And listen, maybe that's just a sign that she's heading the right way. And you know, what could be better than heading the right way against this field where I feel like there's a lot of question marks. She has speed. She wants to sprint. She could make the lead in this race. And if she takes one more, it could just be a small step forward, Dan. She could contend in here.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Vagrancy Handicap, and we're near the back of the Timeform US pace projector. We're hoping that at least the pace is fair for our horses because they're going to be coming from off of it. Let's talk about Holiday Disc. As you love her.
Yeah.
You pick her just about every single time, and she's been good to you throughout her career. Last time out in the distaff, it was a race with no pace.
Yeah,
Come
she didn't
Dancing
run.
was able to go to the lead. She didn't run, but you know something? It was her first start off a little bit of a laugh. Linda Rice wouldn't enter her here unless she thinks this horse is ready to rumble.
Yeah, I think all those things are true. You know, listen, you don't want her coming in off of a race like that, but when I look at this field, I mean, you know, personally, if she runs anything close to her best race, she is going to be a contender in this race. And it's not like, she'll be off the pace early, but it's not like she needs to be way out of it to be effective. She wants to close, but she doesn't need to be, you know, completely outrun early. I'm just hoping they keep her in range, and she just shows up with her best race, because if she shows up with her best race, this is a field that she can beat. Then she's got plenty of good races on her card. This distance is good for her. She likes this track, and I'm going to give her one more chance in here. They made her. She's one of the longest shots on the board in this race, and that's the main reason I picked her, because to me, it was either going to be her or Dawn the Destroyer. Dawn the Destroyer sort of lost me a little bit in her recent starts. And if the price discrepancy is as great as the morning line thinks, I have to bet Holiday Disguise.
I see what you mean about Dawn the Destroyer, but Dawn the Destroyer has a couple of figs that certainly indicate that she can step with these horses when she is right. The Fritchie, I thought, was a little bit disappointing 2 starts back. Last time out in the distaff, I'm willing to forgive because Junior Alvarado really had no choice. He just had this horse in the 4-path on the backstretch all the way through the turn in a race with no pace. I was disappointed that she couldn't kick with Pacific Gale at the end of that race, but I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt going second off the layoff. I want her to run back to one of those races that we saw at Aqueduct over the winter, because if she could run one of those figs, she's going to be right there. 2-1 on the morning line, too light. Let's drift a little bit, please. But I'll go with Dawn the Destroyer. 3-1-4 for me, but I have to admit, I'm only using Pacific Gale underneath. You got to use a lot of separation of powers, right?
Yeah, I got to use separation of powers, and I'm, sort of with you on Dawn the Destroyer. I just can't take her at 2-1, but I'm expecting that she'll maybe turn things around and run better in this race. If she does, I mean, in a lot of ways, she might be the horse to beat in here. If she can run back to one of those 2 races from Aqueduct, I just don't know if I believe that she's going to do it.
2-1, it's too much of an if. Hopefully she drifts. 5-4-3 for Mike, 3-1-4 for me, and the Grade 3 Vagrancy kicking off a really nice Saturday afternoon card at beautiful Belmont Park. Bet it with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Deposit $100. Bet with $250. Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the Vagrancy, 1:30 Eastern. Good luck.